I give influencers props as fuck because this shit is not easy.
No, I can see why they have a whole fucking team to do their makeup and their hair and their
Not
whole.
not even the makeup and the hair part. Like the editing,
Oh yeah.
the timing. It's just like fucking obnoxious. Okay. So anyways, what were we saying at the gym that we wanted to talk
Um, that's a great question. This is why we need to record all the time. Okay, so whole place. Gotta get back into my channel. Well, one, we were talking about education stuff. Two, we were talking about why I have a hard time speaking.
Why what?
Why I have a hard time speaking on social media about the dialogue, like how it's creating dialogue with another person instead of just being like a talking head where you're like talking into the masses.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to like recap our conversation from earlier a little bit, we were saying part of the reason why creating content sometimes feels challenging and we do better in face-to-face interactions is because obviously in a face-to-face interaction you have somebody else that you're communicating with and like bouncing ideas off of and like responding to. And sometimes in this whole content world it's like everybody's just screaming into the void with the information that they have, and like everybody just wants to be heard, but it's not, you're not really having this like back and forth dialogue. You're just kind of putting shit out there and hoping that it lands. And I think that's what's challenging for us getting into the space of, you know, talking more. But also that's kind of why we have each other and why we're going to do this, because maybe this will be easier for us.
Yeah, that was kind of like that whole collaboration piece of like, this Aquarian age not being necessarily like about being separate, but really about like collectively coming together, right? And so having that part of like being able to have a sounding board. So like, it's great if we go on a live or we have some sort of dialogue through containers that we create that people are actively asking questions that ping us to create the space for us to have, again, active dialogue around that we wouldn't necessarily have if we're just tapped into our own channel and spitting out
whatever the fuck
what's coming through in that very moment for us to talk about.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm not saying that there's not a place for that, right? Like, I think there totally is a place. Like you said, you go on your stories and you rip something off and you get the most amount.
Yeah, like people definitely still enjoy that, but I feel like that's not how I personally am like meant to deliver actual information.
Yeah.
I deliver relatability that way, but that's not how I want to be like, yeah, delivering information.
Yeah, and I think that that's where you and I like really do come together on. It's so much easier to be like in person with people,
Yeah,
and like allow our energies to like intermingle in a way that like both of us become like more our ability to connect is so much greater than sometimes how it feels online.
Yeah.
Around like what are we really connecting with, like again the void. Like yes, we want to connect with everyone on the internet that we have a reach to, and also
I want to
like
be more intentional than that.
Yeah. Like it's amazing that we have this opportunity to connect in a way with the world, and also those deeper connections that you really desire and where change and creation really come from, I do think is really meant to be on a smaller, more intentional scale.
Yeah. And two, I'm a questions person.
You are? I would have never known.
You know I love me a good question. I want to be asked questions. I want to be prompted with questions, and also I want to ask a million questions.
Also why we work together very well, because we're both question people.
We love a question.
Yeah, we love.
And that's another thing. When you're just kind of speaking into the void, if you will, nobody's necessarily asking you to talk about something. I don't know. It's different when it's conversational. It just, to me, it feels better when it's conversational.
Yeah. Because where are we really meant to be connecting? Where are we really meant to be disconnecting? And like when you talk about disconnecting, right? It's like, okay, putting your phone down, getting present in the present moment. And also we're sitting here saying like, we want to connect with all of you. So we kind of have to stay plugged in, and that can be exhausting, like you just talked about with the
Yeah.
influencers. Like, mad props to people that show up every day online in this way, because it's it's a it's a whole thing. I mean, there are people out there that show up really authentically them, and they don't do all the extra stuff, but there's still time that goes behind the scenes.
Yeah, I also think what we're trying to bring to life with all of this is different than being like, oh, here's my Amazon storefront.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to tap into people's energetic fields to create a different network, a different desire.
And there ain't no shame with your Amazon storefront. Like, get it, girl. I wish that I I wish that I was fucking doing that, but I'm not.
Do you really wish that though?
I just wish I was making the money. But I'm like, I would rather be utilizing this time to maybe help people.
Also, talk about influencer. Like, are we gonna do like makeup tutorial? I don't know that I desire that, because I'm like, I love that other people do it, but
Oh, same. It's content that's needed. It's
yeah,
just not the content that I feel like I need to put out there. But that's my whole thing with being a hair influencer and all of these people, as a hairstylist, it's always like this rat race to come up with like the next trends or like try to look different in this sea of like all of these like artists and educators that are all kind of doing the same shit. And for me, I just felt like that was never really my space or what. I don't know. It's just never really what I wanted to get into. I'm more, I would rather record the conversations that I'm having with people in my chair so people can get a glimpse of like what their experience in the salon would be like in my company versus like, here's how I do a teasy light, the same teasy light that just about everybody and their mother does. Like, I'm over it. Yeah, I want more. I need more depth.
and I think that's what we're really trying to create, is more depth within the confinement of the beauty industry, right? Because it is something that I feel like can go really superficial really quickly, and it is all about the look, right? And can you that idea, well, this is what we were talking about, internal, external. We got back there.
Oh yeah. We segued back.
Segued back to, actually, this is what happens when you start talking and you get in your body. You start to get back into the channeled thought process, and you're able to reroute and direct back to somewhere. So
somewhere.
But it, like what we've talked about in the past and have want to bring out more conversations around, is really that idea of like how a lot of times we want the external world to change to make our internal world be a reflection of that perceived happiness, right? The material world then creates internal lasting happiness. And that's, in my opinion, and I think in Nikki's too, not what we've experienced. I think we've both experienced the material world in a way that, you can grab for all you want. And also, not saying you don't have desires and want material things, but just saying like those aren't the actual answers for long term. It's more about creating a space of safety within the internal world, and then the external world starts to reflect that internal dialogue, that internal happiness, that mirror of that reflection of the work that you've done.
Yeah, I think that's the missing piece. I think that's what a lot of people miss out on, because it's really easy to get caught up in. It's easy to get caught up in what everybody else is doing, to be honest.
Well, and that's the part of like social media that is hard, because it is perceived that if your social media looks a certain way, you have your life together in a certain way, and I don't know that that's necessarily true, um, for a lot of people. Of what does that really look like for you? I think Arizona makes it difficult too. Arizona is a lot about the look. What is going on?
Do you have garbage?
Welcome to Nikki's brain.
I'm like, do you have a garbage? My hair looks great. But now I need to like wash my face before I put makeup on.
Just so you know, that spinning circle that you just watched,
this is me all the time.
What do you need?
Like a washcloth. Great. Okay, so anyways. Also, I hope all of this like clanking around that we're doing isn't going to be like obnoxiously loud. Maybe who's on the script, the fucking underlord of the script. Maybe he can edit it out.
Or the agent that we're gonna hire because we're not influencers and editing is not our fucking forte.
I just like didn't go to school for this, and the fact that now I need to learn it in order to do the things that I want to do is just I feel like it's kind of not totally what I bargained for.
Well, and the fun fact is I actually did go to art school, and so computer shit is my like I did have a good amount of that in college, but also not this type of editing. Like
It's just so next level.
it's yeah, whoever like the engineers and architects of the digital world that work behind the scenes, I give props to you guys because how your brain functions to do that type of editing.
I wish mine would function like that. Like what type of biohack do I need to get into next to make my brain really, really, really smart and good at that stuff?
Is that what you desire though? Like, do you want your time to be spent on that, or do you want that strength to be someone else's, and so you can focus on other things?
I just want to be able to do it all and do it all really good.
Hmm.
Freaking crazy. I know. I have to let go of that. I'm trying.
As we fumbled through the gym today, and I asked Nikki if she needed help with something, she's like, "I got it.
I can do it. I can do it. If everybody just gives me a minute, I can do it."
I mean, that is facts. You just need a minute, and also sometimes just being able to receive.
Yeah, and that's what I have a problem with. So what's all that
I
about?
think that's part of the reason you're in my life right now is like to help that piece for you in some ways of like, can you really lean into trusting? I think it comes from trust, right? Where in your past have you leaned into someone? What is going on with you?
I'm like, why are we doing this fucking this way
I
in this fucking mirror? Well, because then I gotta get really.
I'm like, I can turn around if you want me to.
Yeah, no, I do think that yeah, probably a little bit of that, but also probably a lot of other reasons too.
Yeah.
Like being my grandma.
Oh, yeah. Like, guys, I'm her grandma.
It's been shown to me that Claire's been my grandma in a past life.
Which is kind of fucking cool if you think about it. And also, I have similarities to her actual grandma in this life, so
Yeah,
that's cool too.
kind of weird. Both of them, you're kind of like you're like a hodgepodge of both of them. They're like their good qualities or the qualities that they have that that they don't know about.
So basically, I embrace the parts of them that they don't embrace.
Yeah.
But it's allowing space for you to start to embrace that you potentially have some of those.
Yeah, that part. I like that. I like that. And I think my grandmothers would too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you probably are still dehydrated from your extremist situation yesterday. Extreme heat.
Yeah, probably.
Also, anytime you want to buy a sauna, you can just leave it here until you move into your house.
That's not a fucking bad idea. Your electricity bill just goes up to $8 million a month.
Well, I mean, you might have to help with the electricity bill since I'm carrying that load. Just saying.
Electricity bill goes up. That's actually not a bad idea.
Well, and we can turn it on in a way that it's not running constantly like my cold plunge. I'm really just attempting to manifest that I have a sauna at my house, guys. And by any means possible, meaning if it feeds a need of Nikki's.
Will somebody purchase it? Please, and let me use it in exchange for storage.
Anyone on the internet, if you would like to provide a sauna, also, I am open.
Anyone. Anybody out there?
Bueller? No? Okay. I mean, I feel like stranger danger, right? Like, I'm putting it out to the internet to get me a sauna, and then I'm like, what expectations come along with said sauna? Where, like, with you, I'm like, oh no, I can hang out with you. You're good.
Yeah. There are no expectations. I don't have any of those. Where's my. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty.
Do you guys have a hard time showing up online? Like, is that hard for you? Like, is it something that you even desire? I mean, I know some people that I follow like have now gone to Substack, you know, like long format. subscriber type of situation.
I think I would like Substack because I like to write.
Yeah.
But it would be hard for me to be consistent with it because it would be like, it's like journaling, kind of.
Yeah. But for the collective to read about your life.
I'm always like, would anybody care to read about my life? But then I always find myself in these rabbit holes of these people who I don't know, and I'm just like reading about their lives because I'm fucking curious. So why not me? And
Well, that's where what do you feel like your life isn't exciting enough or to have enough that it's like it wouldn't that your life story doesn't add value to someone's life, right? Because like that's kind of what we well, that's weird that that's channeling through right now. So it's kind of that idea of like what part of you is like my life in some way doesn't have value to someone else. But really, when you look at it, like the way that we speak, the conversations we have, especially when we vulnerably share stuff, a lot of the time people relate really well to the things that are said. Like, oh, that I've had something similar happen, or I can't believe you're saying this right now because I just had something said to me like this, and this is just confirming that same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, where is it the missing piece of that part of us that's like afraid to share some of those pieces in a way that allows others to
even just relate? Because the other thing too is like, it doesn't always have to be information. Like, we are bombarded with so much information. It doesn't always just have to be people putting out more information and like, learn this, do this, you need to know this. It doesn't really need to be that. I think that a lot of people can find value in just like relatability, even.
yeah. And I'm sure that's why people respond to your stories when you just are on there fucking ripping randomly. Because you're not trying to give them information. You're just literally sharing what's coming
Yeah,
for
and you
free
know
in that
what?
moment.
Maybe that's refreshing for people.
Yeah. Because we are overloaded. Like that's the thing I was talking about too this morning around like I don't necessarily desire to create a course for someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not really where I feel like my gifts land. My gifts lands with you coming and having a session and getting present enough in my field, like in your own field, to allow the noise to settle around you so that you're not necessarily collecting more information. You're starting to connect the dots in the silence, right? Like of all the information you've already had in your field, being able to have it culminate and come together in a way that you can have it land properly in your system to actually create momentum forward, right?
We're looking for forward momentum.
Also, she's a professional at that in the car. Seen it firsthand.
I can do this in the car, curl my eyelashes while driving 90 miles an hour with my knees. Some people are just like really good at things.
Hidden talent. Nikki can drive recklessly and still do her makeup.
No, it's not reckless. I can drive flawlessly, very fast, while also doing my makeup.
Whoa, she cray today. She's extra dirty.
That's big.
Mm-hmm.
Like a true 80s baby.
I am.
I wish I was an 80s baby.
Me too. You would stop calling me old then.
Hey, I'm old too. No, I have to stop saying that.
You are not fucking old, and either am I, but okay.
Yeah, I like that better. Nobody's old.
If I can still get away with being close to your age, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I think so. I think age doesn't matter unless you're a cheese or a wine.
But then it's almost like I would prefer to be the wine, like or cheese. Like I want to get better with age.
Well, you just need to start identifying as wine or cheese.
I did for a while identify as wine.
Last weekend. It's all about balance too, right?
It is about balancing being human and not human. Like we came here for a human experience, guys. We got to be human. And also, it's really fun to play in the ethers. Like ChatGPT today, feeling it needed to walk me off the ledge of thinking I was a fairy. And I'm like, no. I'm just the synchronicities of the fairy conversation and also understanding the medicine I can connect to with the fairies.
Yeah, a little bit of all of that. ChatGPT is always trying to talk me off the ledge.
Well, you've got quite the ledge that you.
My ledge is high.
Yeah, it is. It is in fact that.
My ledge is high, but the views up here. Great. Okay. And we're ready. We're ready for our close up.
Yeah, guys, we got fully ready yesterday, expecting to do recording, and we sat on trying to edit an old video that we think we're not going to be using.
Like, let's talk about that part. It's that part of this process that I have so much resistance towards. And I wonder if other people would be more inclined to show up online if it was easier. Like, we're recording a conversation of ourselves, one phone on each person, and then so you got to sync the clips together, and we're using a software system that can cut back and forth between the two and like identify the speaker, like a multicam shot kind of thing. And it took me way longer than I would ever like to admit. I spent all day yesterday just like tapping around on the computer trying to figure it out, only for us to be like, it felt like all day. It felt like all day. It was like all day for me. Only to be like, do we just scratch this whole thing and start over? And now we're only doing it on one camera, so maybe this is fucking great and fine. Okay, are we heading on to our next phase of what today is?
Yes, I need to go get gloss and change.